Shows how important.
Come here and play well.
Will it be better for you? Where does the culture feel?
Well, you just watched it.
Here's the post-game press conference of the Seattle Storm after their 68-51 loss to the Dallas Wings.
In the opener, and you had 92 on Sunday, but just, in terms of the offense this season, we're a quarter into the season. Just what's going on with the offense?
I wish I was a great answer for that. I think that, in the beginning of the game, we were a little bit uncomfortable. I don't think we were flowing the way that we wanted to. Then it was a stretch where we were getting good shots, good looks that we will take that haven't dropped. And then it was just back to a little bit of not in the flow and the rhythm that we want. I think all of this is self-inflicted. Our defense was pretty good. Giving up 68 points total is pretty good, but when we barely get over the 50-point hump, that's we got a lot to work on.
And then to like that right there, toward Jill, again, that if this was 1 or 2 games, I can see, but we're now again 9 games into a 36-game season. Are you sensing like a pattern here? And if so, how do you guys fix it?
I mean, honestly, we're just missing shots. They're good shots. I don't feel like anything's forced or bad shots, it's just finding a rhythm, and I think we'll be more consistent with that, and we know that. But when I see Sue get the ball, she shoots it, I think it's going in. I think that's all she feels about anyone who shoots it. Like I said, they're just not going in. So we'll figure out how to get in better rhythm, whether that's better play calls, getting more of a flow. But that's something we could fix that. But right now our defense has been pretty solid, and we're going to kind of fall on that, and hopefully maybe push that more and get transition points to get us kind of going. Since
you two guys have been together, though, have you been through anything quite like this for this long? I just don't remember that.
My first 2 years, we were like less than 500. I think that this is not the time to hit the panic button. This is the time to figure shit out, and that's what we need to do. We have a team full of vets, obviously hoping to get our other 2 back at some point. But while they are out, we need to be better. I don't know the last time we had 2 fast break points, only 2, and we want to push the ball. So there's a lot of things you can nitpick about tonight, and we're gonna take it, we're gonna digest it, we're gonna go home, but we have a game on Sunday, so it's turn around, focus on Connecticut.
And then basically, it's usually either one or both of you that have had good scoring nights, but some of your teammates not so much. What are kind of key things that you guys can do to help them be more effective in scoring?
We're super encouraging, obviously, and like I said, we're confident in all our players and all the teammates when they step on the floor. I just think some of them are new playing with Stewie as well, so figure out where to go, where to be. But like I said, at this point, it's we're all confident in each other. Just needs to make shots. So I think it's just getting into rhythm, maybe watching more film together, little things like that. But like I said, they're all good shots. I miss some bunnies that I normally make. Same thing. So I have confidence that we'll get it going.
And then obviously not looking to get you guys fined or anything. A lot of calls, obviously the crowd was very upset. How do you not let that get in your head and be able to effectively play when maybe there are calls going against you or some frustrating calls?
Well, I think, you look at the fouls are pretty similar. So yes, there's always going to be calls where we're wanting, whether they're phantom or real or whatever the case is. I think that, with us, and I don't think we lost our temper or got distracted by the refs, but if they're not calling things early, that just means we need to be more aggressive and finish stronger. And that's, we control what we can control, and that's really it. But the refs didn't make us lose this game. We lost this game.
Stu, what happened on the play where you got hit in the face?
Oh, she got me really good in the nose. I think it was just like a loose ball, 50-50 ball, trying to go after a rebound, and she just got me good. But my nose, I don't think it's broken. So.
Do you guys think you can play defense? I mean, can your defense overcome when your offense is just maybe dragging behind? I mean, obviously you guys played really good defense this year, but can you play defense enough to, like, I guess, hold teams to?
I mean,
Yeah,
we got to score.
Yeah, we got to score. We like
Can only hold teams to so many.
Yeah.
This is the WNBA, and we have a lot of talented players in this league.
and we like to score.
Yeah, we like to score.
Don't get it wrong. We,
So,
like to, we want to score. It's not great. I mean, defense is cool and all, but
if you look at our entire roster and you go from Gabby down, everybody on our team can score the basketball. And yes, we are having a problem getting it to actually go in the hoop right now. But it's early.
yeah.
It's early. We're about to start a little bit of a nice stretch of every other day games. So I think the biggest thing is we can't let our confidence waver.
Yeah.
We know who we are, we know how we play, and we need to do it.
I don't know how this is going to, but is it the building? I mean, is this building sort of good for you?
Let me
guys?
tell you
I
something.
mean-
There is a depth perception thing in this building. That is not an excuse.
We're getting used to it.
But there is something, and we're getting used to it. Yeah, it's something is a little bit funky.
Yeah.
Stu, you referenced kind of like your rookie season and everything. Did this game remind you of kind of those times at all?
No.
Oh my gosh. No.
No, I mean, I don't even know. I keep hitting this thing, so sorry for whoever this thing is. Last year, I'm sure we lost to a team by 20 points. It happens to us every year. Usually it's the day game on the East Coast, but it happens. And I'm not worried. Jewel's not worried. Nobody on our staff is worried. We're confident with the people that we have in our room and on our team. And I mean, we touched on it. We play basketball for a living. You know, it's our job to go out and perform and play well. And we're going to do that.
Just want to give you guys an opportunity. Obviously, today was the big Wear Orange campaign against gun violence. Just if you had any additional words on that.
I mean, I think it's clear that something needs to change. I think of my niece and nephew going to school, and my brother's like, "Yeah, we looked up, bulletproof backpacks." Like, what? Like, that shouldn't be a normal thing to think about that as you're dropping kids off at school and things like that. So, I think it's important that one, we get educated about gun safety, and then figure out how to change the gun laws. That's super. I mean, everything is assault rifle. Why is it So, I think that's the biggest thing is education. Understand how to that's a big part of things, and then figuring out how to change the laws.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing. I think it's great that we have a game where we wear orange and we're continuing to educate people, but now we need to kind of have some action behind it. There's so many mass shootings in our country that, you just can't even keep track of the events that have happened in the past 2 weeks. And then as a mom, when you add kids into that equation, it's really difficult, and you wanna keep your innocent children safe, and they're not safe at school. You're not safe where you worship. You're not safe at the grocery store. And I think what we need to do, what we all need to continue to do, is vote and make sure we're putting pressure on our local elections, general elections, whatever we can, because we need Congress to kind of get some gun laws that actually make sense.
Okay, before we wrap up, any questions from the Zoom from our participants there? All right, we'll call it. Thanks, everybody. Jeff Brown, one more.
I just wanted any positives that you can take from a game like this, or do you just kind of flush it and move on to Sunday?
Yeah, defense was good.
Yeah, defense. Fall back on that. I mean, it's hard to let a team score.
It's great that our defense is good, but now we need our offense to be good,
going.
and that's really it.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, everybody. Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Good night.
All right. Coach, why don't you just open us up with quick thoughts on today's game?
Yeah, it's tough to win games when we shoot 30% from 2, 17 from 3. Didn't get to the free throw line a ton of times and get out rebounded. To hold a team like Dallas to 68, that just shows our defense is sustaining us. We just have to find ways to complement our players, Sui being one, Jewel obviously, but find ways to continue to execute offensively, hit shots, but just our effort defensively has been enough to win games. We just have to kind of weather this storm and figure it out on the other end of the ball.
Open it up for questions here in the room.
Are you seeing any pattern then, sort of going on with the offense? Is it one or two things that you can point to, or is it just something different each night?
I think first and foremost, we have to take care of the ball. We got 16 turnovers. When we take care of the ball, we have shots on goal. Our pace, obviously, last game we played a lot of transition and no offense, just early drags. And to me, it is game by game. I have to take a look at the film, but I think we're getting open shots. And we just have to have confidence and knock them in and not live and die by the 3-point line. But that it has been our MO and will continue to be our MO. And hopefully we get hot. But other thing is, obviously, we're missing pieces. And, you think about what Ezzy can do in the lane, in transition. You think about having Sue on the floor. No excuses. This has been us for the beginning of the season. But I think they will help us offensively as well.
And they just, I guess, how key is it to find that third score now that somebody's just going to do that?
It's important. At the beginning of the season, our reserves, held us, kept us in games and came through. And so it's not necessarily, I feel like with this team, one third person, but multiple efforts from multiple people. And it is important. We can't continue to rely on one or two. That's not how we're built. We're built to move the ball, flow. Everybody gets some looks. Everybody gets into their sweet spots. But right now, we're not even really moving the ball, flowing as much and as we should. And yeah, we need some contributions everywhere.
And then, so 9 games into the season, quarter of the way through, you guys are either dead last or second to last in field goal percentage. Kind of what's that's obviously a long enough thing where it's not just a one game problem. Kind of what are you seeing, and any ideas on how to fix it?
Yeah, I think consistency, and I don't want to continue to point to this as an excuse, but we have yet to play one game with the same roster. And so consistency in minutes, consistency in position, consistency in where my shots are going, consistency in how many shots I'm going to take. I think that helps as a player to know that, okay, this is who I'm going to be in this role today. This is my normal role. I know what my shots are going to be. And I think I will point to that first and foremost. Now, the stats statistically, the 11th when I checked, probably dead last today. And it is, we're not taking shots outside of what we normally take. Our defense is getting better. Are we seeing switches? We're seeing the same defenses. It's just, I don't know, a matter of knocking your shots in. Easier said than done, though. But it is. I think we have to have more of a balance. We don't get in the paint. We don't get to the free throw line consistently. And so it is not just settling for threes, but shifting defenses, moving defenses. I know we're good in early offense, but sometimes just making a couple of extra ball reversals to get into the lane. We have to have, to me, more of a balance within our scoring.
And then just touching on that, and you kind of addressed it earlier, where early on in the season the bench was contributing a lot. Tonight they only have 2 points for everyone on the bench. What do you need from them, or how do we get them going, or how do you get them going? It's,
you think about what we've done defensively, and to get that group going, that's where it starts, and they've done a great job with that. But, you know, rebounding within that group, but also just coming and having an aggressive mentality. Debatable about calls. We're not going to even talk about that, but just there has to be this confidence in knowing that the role is a huge role. Our coming off the bench, I know it is. You've watched the flow of a game, so you know how you can impact it. It's a huge role, and our Piff is a consummate professional, but we need more from Piff. Steph coming back, has to get in rhythm. Gray, her energy, like we have players who have ability to impact with energy, activity, and all of those things, and it's just a matter of staying within that, playing within that, and playing together. Especially that group needs to work a little bit extra to get each other shots a little bit more.
I'm sorry.
Suze is the third game that she's missed. In her absence, has anyone stepped up as far as leadership?
Yeah, I have Stewie. It's great to hear her voice in huddles, in practice, in scout, whatever it is. I think this is a time for her to step into that role, and she's done a great job with being a voice. Obviously, just knowing that Bree at the point guard position is a catalyst in many ways defensively, but her comfort level too is beginning to open up and show in those moments. But yeah, Stewie's taking ownership in that.
How did Sadie's look in her first outing?
Thought she looked great. I was looking at the time limit, like, can we get 7 more minutes out of her? A couple of cheap fouls, but as far as her win and her conditioning, one thing I always talk to you guys about is her mind. Like, she doesn't forget plays, she knows schemes, she's locked in. So I thought she looked good, and I think as we get her conditioning up and her game reps up, she's going to help tremendously, especially rebounding, and 8 to 12 points right there offensively.
Yeah, just to like that right there. Do you think she can give you those points in the paint?
Yes.
And then obviously foul trouble, like I said, a couple of questionable calls there for Sadie's. But is she on any minutes restrictions right now? And what is that?
12 to 15 is what I was told.
Go ahead, Charles.
So you touched on a little bit, Coach, throughout this presser, but getting Sadie's back, in this first game, but still having to add Ezzy and Sue. How much of the mindset in the locker room after a loss like this is, hey, there's no need to panic. We still have not played without our full 12, and they, have to just get into a rhythm. You're not really worried about something like this, despite it being like a 20-point loss.
Yeah, I said exactly that. But what I also made sure I touched on was that no matter what lineup is on the floor, no matter who we have available to play, our competitiveness, our fight, our effort, that can't waver. And I don't think that we had that consistently. But yeah, it's by no means do we panic because of that. But it also can't be the superwoman cape that saves us. Is that Ezzy and Sue may potentially be back. Like, that can't, and everything will just be okay. It's not that. It is, we have to consistently continue to show up on both sides of the floor. We have to consistently be pros and just know that that effort can never waver. So do they help us? Yes, but that doesn't mean we magically skyrocket up to number 1 in field goal percentage. It means that we got to continue to put the work in, play together, and figure out how to be successful as a unit on both ends of the ball.
Do you know anything more about the chances of them playing on Sunday?
I don't. I haven't talked to Britt after the game. I know they're continue to be in their protocol, and so hopefully tomorrow we'll see where they're at, and hopefully we'll have them for Sunday.
Not looking to get you fined, but just obviously I know the crowd was very kind of upset with some of the calls that were being made throughout the game. As a coach, like, do you have to kind of rally the team and say, hey, like, don't let it get into your heads, or anything? Like, how do you approach that situation?
I'm a firm believer in dealing with that situation is to perpetuate it by continuing to complain is not beneficial, and I don't think that I think they're trying to do their jobs as best as they can, and so my message to the team is just like, fight through it. Don't even talk to them anymore, and hopefully, it turns a tide, because that's kind of how the ebbs and flows of the game go. But I don't even want to be concerned about spending energy and arguing plays that can't get reversed or any of that. It is a matter of just communicating respectively and professionally, and I try to maintain that as best as possible. And I want my team to kind of take on that same mentality, is just fight through the adversity.
You got a technical foul?
As a coach, no. But I'm not opposed to it, and I don't know that, I don't know that if it would help us today. Sometimes I try, and I fail because they just are like, no, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I try. Honestly, I was trying a couple of games ago. I'm on the court, and they didn't get baited into it. So maybe it's a respect factor, knowing my demeanor and all of that. But yeah, sometimes I do honestly try and it doesn't work. So I need to get better.
The WNBA and you guys did the Wear Orange campaign. Just wanted to, if you had any words for that.
Yeah, I think it's important to continue to bring awareness to gun violence, and specifically, obviously, our country has been affected by it at a high rate. And again, I'm no expert in this at all, but what I am is human, and I know that it's been heavy on my heart because you think about the lives of young children being lost, people in general, loved ones being lost, and the fact that it could be checked or it can be regulated with the leadership in this country. And I think it's on the onus, sometimes you think about things that happen in life and you're like, how as an individual can I help this situation? And this one feels a little bit too big for me in particular. So it's just, continuing to empower, encourage, enlighten, teach, making sure we're on the leaders in our areas in our country, stay on them and hold them accountable to understanding the regulation of these laws that need to be overturned or changed. It matters because at the end of the day, life is so precious. And, we all have an expiration date, but we don't want it to be taken by something like senseless, something that we continue to just that we can be accountable for and we can change. Like we have to do better in life. We have to do better as a community, as a world. I'm a big believer in love heals all, and understanding that it's a big matter for us in this country, and we got to do our job and do what's right, and that starts from the top. And Congress has to do better. All the people that are in charge of making change, they got to do better, and we got to do our due diligence and vote and make sure we're putting in leaders and officials who will regulate this. But yeah, it's senseless, and I will continue to fight and stand up and speak on it when I can and use my platform.
All right, thanks everybody, appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.